Hello YouTubers, I'm here to show you my 2008 KLR650 and some of the modifications that I've done to it so far. This is my first YouTube video, so bear with me. I mainly decided to do this so that I can share my experiences with other KLR owners and possibly make some new riding friends out here in Yuma. So anyway, this is my third KLR that I've owned. I had an 89 when I was a kid, 135 pounds. Just sling that thing around the trails. And then I had another 2003 a couple years ago, and went on a deployment to Afghanistan and had to sell it. So yep, here I am again. Got another one. Had an FJR 1300 in between there. Love that bike too. So can't get enough of these KLRs. They're perfect for my riding preference and what I like to do. I like to go off road, but I'm not into the jumps. I just, I like to tear it up a little bit, but obviously can't get too crazy with this big 450-pound beast. But anyway, so I got this from a guy from Tucson off Craigslist. Paid $31,500 for it. It was used. It's been dropped a couple times on both sides. 4,400 miles. Pretty good. Seemed like a good deal to me. So rather than spend I was going to buy a new one originally, but decided to save the money left over and buy a bunch of parts for it. So that's what I did. So anyway, there's all the boxes. I've been installing parts for the last 3 or 4 days. So just to kind of give you a rundown of some of the experiences that I've had and what I've done. I don't have a big shop. You can see my tool selection is very slim. I got a Husky 185 piece toolkit there, and between that and a torque wrench, a couple onesies and twosies hand tools, I was able to assemble everything that I'm going to show you. We'll start at the front of the bike. First thing is the windshield. The stock one was about 3 inches shorter, so I put this zero gravity one on here, a little bit longer, tinted with the black look. I think it looks better with the tinted coloring. I got new tires. These are Continental TK80s. They're a 40% on-road and 60% off-road tire. And from my experiences with them so far, that's how they perform. Not too bad on the street, definitely good in the dirt, a little bit more biased towards the dirt. Also put a Happy Trails fork brace on, easy installation. One thing I found is that inner bridge, take that bridge off completely. Directions say to leave it on there, and if you just take that bridge off and you put these side brackets on first, I don't know if you can see that with the light, but push it all the way down, and there's little grooves. It wraps around the actual shock at the bottom, and then put those sides on and then put the bridge on. It works a lot better, and that makes a big difference. Like I said, this is my third KLR. I definitely had a pretty good feel for how the front end acts, and when you got an issue or not. And when I first put these on there, I was a little concerned because it just felt so much different. But once I got used to it, it just adds a lot of stability, and it does change the turning, how it reacts when it turns. But I think at the end of the day, it's definitely a good mod to do. Real easy to put on. I got the Happy Trails crash bars with the highway pegs and the Happy Trails skid plate, and this thing it's solid cast steel. That other one that was stock on there, the plastic one, wouldn't have been good. A rock would have cracked that thing in half. So pretty happy to have that on there. It definitely protects the water pump well, and all around good protection all the way through. So installation not too difficult. Got a couple these brackets here, and then they screw in from the bottom, and then your standard front bolts, the 2 bolts in the front there. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty easy. And then the crash bars themselves, that was a whole nother story on installation for me. I'm not a motorcycle mechanic, but I do know how to turn a wrench, and those proved to be quite challenging for me. After I was done, I found out that there's all kinds of handy, helpful YouTube videos that show you exactly how to do it. Hence my YouTube video creation, so that I can help other people that don't have to go through the same struggles that I did. Another mod I'm planning on getting is new pegs. I got some IMS coming in, and then a IMS shifter as well. I put on this tank bag. It's the stock KLR, or I guess it's from the factory. I don't know. It says KLR. Ordered it online for $60, and I really like the tank bags. I just kind of can't do anything without them. Bag of McDonald's goes in there or whatever on the road. And this handlebar bag is totally awesome. This is my first handlebar bag I've ever had, and I highly recommend that. It's awesome. And then it's got the standard, these came with the bike, the standard sides. You can see they're pretty worn, but you know what? Anything I put on here is going to get pretty worn, so I might as well get my use out of them. You know, they've been sitting in the sun for a while, but these zippers still seem to work just fine, and pretty happy with them. Not too shabby. Also installed the Bark Buster. I got the Storms. I just felt like the Storms, they're a little bit more on-road orientated, but you still have the aluminum protection all the way through. Very sturdy, and I was actually a fan of this bigger hand guard. Yeah, they're not as big as the stock ones, but they still provide a decent amount of wind protection. For those cool climates, you're definitely going to want to have heated hand grips and all that, but they're not bad at all. Install is fairly easy. One thing to note on these particular ones, you can see there I get a little contact, just a little bit, but you can adjust the handlebars to avoid that. I just don't like my handlebars all the way down at the tank, so I kind of compromised to where I had a little bit of contact and the handlebars are a little bit higher. Eventually I'll get a handlebar razor or something like that, or a new set of handlebars that hopefully alleviate that problem and get something better anyway. But other than that, they're pretty easy. If you're worried about on this particular one, no issues with the clutch. It's a little close there. I don't know if you can see that. So if you did go down or something, you know, that might smash into where you wouldn't be able to retract the lever. But I kind of made mine a little bit lower. I put the bars a little bit lower than the clutch lever, so you know, I have that chance of, if it does get pushed in, this is still going to be above it, or I can bend that clutch lever up to be able to still get the function if I'm out on the road and I go down. The brake lever side is fine. It's got plenty of room. But yeah, these things are really solid and really strong. So, and if you need to do if the handlebar movement's easy, those 2 bolts, you got the 4 bolts here. There's 2 bolts on the bottom. Undo those 2 bolts and your handlebars will pull right down. Just got to torque them back up to 18 pounds. So the last thing, I guess, is the Corbin seat. It's really nice. One thing to note about it, it's about 2 inches thicker than the stock seat. So when you're used to something like this, oops, I don't know if you can't really see it, but it's about 2 to 2.5 inches wider, which definitely affects the this part, because this is wider as well. So when your thighs are really squeezing this hard and you're going around turns, you're doing something seated that's intense, I feel this little bump here on my thigh. It kind of pushes in, and I'm not really used to that, but it does have a lot wider surface, flat surface. I say it's definitely going to be better for the passenger to sit on. Just a lot more butt room back here. So overall, it's not as soft as the stock seat, but it's firmer, and I think my posture is a little bit better. It's probably better for my back, even though it's not as squishy. So I like that. Very expensive though. I'm not sure if that was actually worth it. We'll see how it does over time, but yeah, so that is pretty much it. My next thing is to take this POS off and mount that license plate right here on the fairing. I've seen some other people doing that, and that thing just looks like it's going to get destroyed if I max out those rear shocks or something. So anyway, thanks for watching my first YouTube video, and we'll see you next time.